Porsche, etc. Yes, it is the same man. This is his race team. He's been involved in sports car racing for so long. His son Bryce raced for many years. And even though Bryce stepped out of the car, Paul Miller continues to race as a team owner with so much passion.
He really does. It was a great season last year, capturing that championship. It literally went right down to the wire at Petit Le Mans. So much pressure from Catherine Legg and the Acura squad at Meyershank Racing that AJ's driving for this year to try and wrestle that championship away from them. Now we're on board here with Frankie Montecalvo. You can tell the throttle here, applications are being very easy right now, just trying to get some temperature into these Michelin tires on the GTD cars there this year. AJ, how long does it take? What have you experienced in the practice sessions to get temp in these tires?
Yes, as we rode on board there with Frankie Montecalvo, you can hear him in and out of the brakes, trying to heat the brakes up, heat the tires up. You know, too fast to sit in 6 or 7 laps in a different tire manufacturer to really get the tires up to temp. What I found with this Michelin tire is 2 to 3 laps, the tire's at its peak performance. Not saying that if you don't get it at 3 laps that you still can't get a great lap time, but I'm really interested to see here that 3rd or 4th lap. If you nail it, I think that's where the peak performance is to get the best lap time possible.
Tell us more, Marty.
Hey, Lee, they said something interesting to Frankie when he went out. Townsend, I'd love to get your perspective on this as he's your teammate. They told him, don't hit the curbs on the first lap, but after that, go for it. Hit as many curbs as you want to on this qualifying lap. Why can he not touch them on the first lap?
Well, Marty, on new tires, great question. With a tire, when it's at low pressure, it's very easy to actually damage the tire. You don't think about that, but if you suddenly get really aggressive with those curbs, Marty, you can actually fracture the construction of the tire. So once he's got tire pressure built in them, then he can be more aggressive and use all of the apexing.
Yeah, Calvin, very good point on protecting the tire sidewall. At low pressures, like you said, on the outlap, the vertical compression over the curbing can sometimes hurt the sidewalls. Haven't seen any issues with the Michelins. They do a great job. The hard part is that you need the pressures to come up to get your ride heights just right. They really hustle at a place like right here, the bus stop, where you'll see Frankie go truck it in. The grip is available really early. You have to be patient for those pressures to come up. Watching Frankie work through the bus stop looked like he was pushing pretty hard already. You don't want to wait too late, though, guys, so that you lose the optimal grip of the tire just waiting for the pressures. It's a real tightrope walk to hit it just at the right time. Great job delivering a champion.
Change at the top with Corey Lewis going back to the top ahead of Spencer Pompelli in the 44. This is the Magnus Racing Lamborghini, making the switch from Audi to Lamborghini in the off-season. And this is really important and on a personal level for Spencer Pompelli as he rejoins Andy Lally for the first time since 2011. And they actually partnered to win this race in class. So look out for this 44.
Yes, they're going to be very strong, and they're starting their campaign with a brand new race car, Lamborghini Huracan, versus the other marks that they've used in previous seasons. But they're a really smart group. I'm sure they'll get to grips with the car very, very quickly. I think we could see 2 things occur here. We could see times sort of like peak at about lap 3, lap 4. You talk about these tyres coming in very quickly, this Michelin tyre, but think about the fact the longer you get into this stint, you're burning off fuel. Fuel is weight. Weight is time in a race car. Potentially, you could be 3/10 quicker just because the car weighs less towards the end of the session. But it's all about peaking, getting the tires peaked at the same time. That fuel burn is coming off.
Yeah, and we can just see as we go through the 3rd lap now, we just see times dropping into the 45.7s here. You know, the big thing we see with Spencer Pompelli right now that's interesting is, we haven't talked about it yet, is the draft. If you get behind a car, you can pick up 3 to 4 miles per hour down the straightaway. So there's always this game of chicken. You're trying to get close to a car, not too close where he's going to mess up the infield, but get close enough where you can get a draft down the straightaway and make up mega mile per hour.
We got a window into this at the Raw, the 3-day test. 3 weeks ago, the Raw before the 24, that times were going to be significantly faster, and they are. Marcus Gomez on screen right here in the Via Italia Ferrari has just set the quickest lap for GTD, breaking Daniel Serra's lap record of a year ago in qualifying. Just over 7 minutes remaining for the GTD class competitors to get their qualifying positions for Saturday.
Well, could we have another European surprise? Grasser, the European team, won here last year with a Lamborghini. And this is a team that's been very much off our radar, but they're showing good pace early in this session.
Change at the top with the 46 Lamborghini. The Ebby Motors entry now going to the top with Alto, the quickest time. Oh, it's changing fast. Matthias Lauda, he had a shot in the Spirit of Life Ferrari. He was up there. Now he's been pushed back. Cooper McNeil is in the top 5.
Seeing purple sectors, the racetrack is broken down into 3 sectors. Sector 1 is between the start-finish stripe as you exit turn 6 off the infield. Sector 2 is between the exit there and the exit of the bus stop. And Sector 3 is from the exit of the bus stop all the way, the big run around the super speedway to the start-finish line.
Another retro paint scheme is aboard. This, the AMG Riley Mercedes of Ben Keating, and Ben went to the top, but then Gomez has eclipsed him. Times just continue to get faster and faster.
Yeah, Keating just went purple in Sector 3, which means he's the fastest man on the racetrack through that particular sector.
You can see Ben Keating right now. Actually, looks like maybe he got the max out of his tires. Maybe given a lap to cool down or just gapping himself. We get a little bit of clean air here, so it'll be interesting to see if he can ramp it up one more time and put a big lap in.
Racetrack is pretty clean right now, so it's not so much of a concern of running offline and picking up some marbles. But I think you're absolutely right. Sometimes you can catch that traffic just perfectly, pick up that draft. You're talking about, AJ, maybe a 3, 4, 5 mile an hour advantage, but other times it can just really ruin a potentially pole lap.
Yeah, and as time clicks down, we see it's a 1:45 lap. We got just over 5 minutes to go. So you're only talking about 2 or 3 more good laps that you can get in. So everybody's trying to position themselves the best that they can.
Guys, how about the diversity in GTD competition? Ferrari leading Mercedes-AMG, leading an Acura, leading a Lamborghini. 4 different mates in the top 4 positions as we switch now to the defending champions in GTD competition for this race, the Rolex 24, the GS Aggressive Racing Team Lamborghini. And Heineken in the top 5.
This is a great squad. So much speed on that driving squad, AJ. You went up against them last year. You know what they have.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't make a lot of mistakes. Last year, it just seemed like no matter what we did, it was hard to ever gain time on them. They got a fast race car, as you said, Calvin. A great lineup, and it's hard to beat.
Talk about that balance of performance, the adjustments that are made to create a level playing field for everyone. This Lamborghini actually got a little bit of help, a bigger air restrictor, which gives it more power since the raw test here just 3 weeks ago. Speaking of that test, this is the driver right there who had the fastest time at the raw test. That gave the Shank boys and girls the pick of the garage spots and pit lane, so certainly significant. She put a great lap together. Let's see if she can repeat that performance here when it counts.
You'll remember Anna Beatrice from IndyCar Series competition. She's been doing Brazilian stock car racing in recent years and seems to have fitted to GT racing very well, AJ.
Yeah, Bia has done a great job. And you know what's funny? She's just very quiet in the way she goes about it. She doesn't really make a lot of headway when it comes to talking about what she wants. She just goes out there and in that qualifying session at the Roar. A huge shock. She was just easing up that pace, and all of a sudden, when it was time to go, she can get it done. She's on a lap here. We'll see what she can do.
Time's running out pretty quickly, isn't it? Less than 3.5 minutes left in this GTD qualifying session here at the World Center of Racing. Marcus Gomez still leads the way over Ben Keating. Then Trent Hinman has gone up there in the Acura, in the sister car to this one, for Meyer Shank Racing. And then Alto, Heineken, Lauda, Spencer Pumpelli's been pushed back to 7th. Corey Lewis and a Beatrice who we were watching. And then High Stand in the top 10 in the best of the Lexus entries for Aim Vassar Sullivan.
And Lee, this is where I'll be shocked if we get a car that can go up there and put a quicker lap time than what we see on top. Tires usually start to fall off about lap 5, lap 6. Not bad, but just enough where that peak performance is gone, and it's hard to get that lap time. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody else can kind of jump inside the top 5.
Ben Keating just laid down his fastest lap with just a touch off the pole that beat his previous best. So when we saw him just cruising around, he was in fact looking for a gap, cooling those tires off. There you see the intensity of young Trent Hinman. He's won here at Daytona before. What a young superstar he is.
go down in here in turn one, hard on the brakes, your eyes are looking into the apex, got to get it right, get back on the power as quick as you can. It's a tough corner. You can see him oversteering on the exit, hanging on to it, trying to get everything he can.
How much do you lean on those electronic aids with these GTD cars? They've got traction control, they've got ABS, and you're fully into it?
You're fully into it. You stand on the brake pedal, the ABS gets in there, it's shaking your foot on the pedal. You get off the corner, the lateral load of the traction control, it's shaking the rear tires. You're trying to get everything in, and that's the thing you want, the perfect performance of just a little bit of traction control to help that drive off the corner, but not too much to slow the car down.
Really key there to get that exit off of turn 6, get the traction, get the power down, then a chance to relax a little bit. In the race, AJ, this is a nice spot just to analyze the traffic behind, relax your hands a little bit.
And that's the tough thing. You know, I came from the prototypes for 12 years. You were always the aggressor, making the passes. I finally realized last year in the GTD car that, man, when I was a prototype driver, I was really insane passing cars. So it's tough at night. It's hard to tell. Although the headlights are different between classes, it's so tough to tell what cars are behind you.
There's an old mate of ours, Ian James. We used to call him the young Englishman. Lee, no longer the young man. Mid-40s now, but still winning races. Part of this WRT squad from Europe over here to really try and give Audi another bullet in the gun for a win here at the Rolex. He has a ton of experience. His 19th Rolex will be competing here on Saturday.
Time running out, final 30 seconds of qualifying. Marcos Gomez, the Brazilian stock car champion in years past, has set a cracking pace here in the Via Italia Ferrari, and it's a new lap record for GTD cars here in Daytona. Is looking good to start on the pole position. Ben Keating in the Mercedes-AMG for Riley Motorsports right alongside, and then Trent Hinman, and times will pretty much stay as is. Gomez has put in a quick sector, so too is Keating, but I think they'll stay as they are as the clock winds to 0.
If it stands like this, I believe this will be Ferrari's 3rd year in a row being on the GTD pole.
A lot of the fast cars have already pitted. There we see one of them, Ben Keating, 2nd fastest right now.
And a solid qualifying effort, but this is the quick car. The Via Italia machine with Brazilian Marcos Gomez winning the pole in a record time. Nice way to start this Rolex 24 weekend.